Ivanka Trump is one of her father's closest advisors, and she counsels him on a range of issues, but always behind closed doors. In fact, we've almost never heard her distance herself from her dad until now. This morning, a rare public father-daughter divide. Ivanka Trump appearing to distance herself from the administration, acknowledging the crisis over family separations at the border impacted her personally.
That was a low point for me as well. I feel very strongly about that, and I am very vehemently against family separation.
Despite disagreeing with her father's zero-tolerance policy privately, Ivanka never pushed back publicly until it had already been reversed. The first daughter now saying immigration is an issue that hits home.
I am a daughter of an immigrant. My mother grew up in communist Czech Republic, but we are a country of laws. So, she came to this country legally.
In another apparent break, Ivanka Trump making it clear she doesn't see the media as the enemy of the people, one of the terms President Trump uses to energize his supporters.
The enemy of the people, I call him.
You think the media is the enemy of the people?
No, I do not.
Mr. Trump trying to clarify, tweeting, she correctly said no. It is the fake news, which is a large percentage of the media, that is the enemy of the people. Critics making the connection that when the president says fake news, he's actually talking about coverage he finds unflattering. His tweet from May seeming to support those claims. 91% of the network news about me is negative, fake. Last night, the president was at it again before a cheering crowd.
They can make anything bad because they are the fake, disgusting news. I had a very nice life. I didn't need to be, I used to get actually good press.
The president's press secretary on Thursday seeming to support her boss's heated rhetoric.
The media continues to ratchet up the verbal assault against the president and everyone in this administration.
You did not say in the course of those remarks that you just made that the press is not the enemy of the people.
I've addressed this question. I've addressed my personal feelings. I'm here to speak on behalf of the president. He's made his comments clear.
Ivanka's latest comments now setting herself apart from the White House and her father. An apparent divide no longer behind closed doors.
Kristen, Ivanka did say that she's vehemently against family separation, but a lot of people are criticizing her for not actually doing more.
That's right, Hoda. And critics are saying, why did it take her so long to speak out? And why isn't she actually doing more? One key women's group tweeting, we are asking you again now, take action. Look, based on our reporting, Ivanka Trump does tell her dad when she disagrees with him. For example, they disagree on the environment, but that's an issue where he's really stuck to his guns. She was asked how she sees her role here at the White House last year, Hoda, and she said this, quote, where I disagree with my father, he knows it, and I express myself with total candor. Hoda, Savannah.
All right. Kristen Welker at the White House. Kristen, thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.